My friends, one way I know about the love of God the Father is because of my amazing parents, the love of my mother and father given to me throughout my life. This is a very rare Catholic TV Mass for me because my father's not here today. He's had quite a few health issues this year and moved to Newburyport in assisted living. Saturday was his 97th birthday, and a great time to reflect on his impact in our life. And I told him then that I know the love of God the Father because of the love of my own father here on earth. God's word today encourages us to consider the love of God the Father poured out through Jesus Christ, especially in his death on the cross. And in our first reading and in our gospel reading, we are told to lift high the cross and to meditate on the reality of God for us dying on a cross to free us from sin and to bring us into communion with him from here to eternity. Earlier this Lent, I went to a workshop for priests, a day of reflection actually, led by Father Jim Rafferty of the Institute for Priestly Formation. And he gave 3 beautiful talks. In one of the talks, he was speaking about the cross, and he talked about the beauty of the crucifixion and the beauty of Mary at the side of her son when he was crucified. I found those words very challenging, and when we had a question and answer time after his talks, I said to Father Jim, that is a very challenging thought for me, because throughout my life I have considered the agony of the cross, our mother of sorrows, and I see Mary as tormented and brokenhearted at the side of her son on the cross, similar to the words of St. Bridget of Sweden in her reflection of Mary's agony at the cross. And what Father Jim said was 2 things: that Mary was prepared for this moment throughout her life, that she bore her son out of love and grace for the world and as an instrument of salvation. So she was ready for this moment. The second thing he talked about was about married love. And today we recognize that love as we remember Michael and Debbie. And that was that there are couples who have great suffering in their life, but there's a great beauty in the way they suffer together, one for the other. Certainly my father was heroic in caring for my mother, who was sick for many, many years. A great deal of suffering and a great deal of beauty, all at once. These are some other reflections on the beauty of the cross. This is from Traver Wax, The Beauty of the Bloodstained Cross. But one crucifixion is beautiful. In the midst of this vicious death, we peer into the very heart of God. On this wind-blown, stony hill outside Jerusalem, dotted by 3 crosses, we see God in his brilliance, his unexpected glory. Like the autumn leaves that drape the earth in color, one cross shines in beauty. Martin Lloyd-Jones puts it this way: you will never know God as Father except by Jesus Christ, and in particular, his death upon the cross. Look there, gaze, meditate, survey the wondrous cross, and then you will see something of God the Father. My friends, I'm still struggling with that image of the cross as beautiful. One of the most profound questions I was ever asked in my 38 years as a priest came from a grade school student, and she was talking about the crucifixion. And she said to me, why do we call it good? So much good came from the crucifixion of Christ, redemption and forgiveness of sins. So the cross is good, and is it also beautiful?